All right, I'm back. This time with an overview for Unit 1, which is a personal analysis paper. Few things to keep in mind. Number one, this is a personal analysis. I don't mind that you use I, me, or my first person point of view. Normally in academic writing, that would be frowned upon, but definitely for this first paper, I don't mind that you use first person because, after all, you are talking about your experience or experiences. So that just brings me to the topic of the paper. This paper is about experiences or people who have helped define who you are. So each of your paragraphs might focus on one experience or one person that has shaped you. Your thesis should somehow state what those events or people have shaped you to be. So, if you define yourself as funny, how did you come to know that? Did you come to know that because, you had a talent show at school? Or did you come to know that because, you just always make people laugh whenever you're in social settings? And so you could describe in a paragraph about the talent show. You could describe in a paragraph about, being in a social setting or something at work where, you made everyone laugh. And you realize that laughter was a part of who you are and what keeps you going and moving and striving every day. So basically, that's what I want you to dig into. I want you to analyze, AKA, break apart, break down your life experiences and the people in your life and how that has helped shape you. Also, you're going to use different description techniques. So you will have, and you can have, and I do encourage you to have dialogue. You can have dialogue, you can have uses of figurative language like metaphors, similes. You can use, I don't know how you would use it, but some personification, I guess. Whatever you can or want to give your essay kind of a lyrical flow or creativity. All right. So definitely use some descriptive techniques. This paper has to be 3 pages. In a previous video, I already talked about the 5-paragraph essay. 5-paragraph essay with each paragraph being about 5 to 10 sentences is probably only going to get you about 2 pages. So how do you add meaningful length to this? Okay. Well, first, think about how you started out the essay. Maybe your attention grabber could actually be a story where you tell a story about, that moment on the stage where everyone started laughing. You know, that's going to give a little bit more length. That first paragraph could be your attention grabber with the story. The second paragraph would be where you would introduce the topic and give the thesis. And then you would move into your body paragraphs, maybe where you would describe and develop some other additional times, people or experiences that have helped shape you. Now, you don't have to just have one thing that you've been shaped into either. Okay, so if you're funny and intelligent, or you can have, 2 or 3 or 1, whatever, just as long as you've got enough details to fill that. And so that's another way you can add length to your paper. If you only talk about one characteristic, add another one. And make sure you add it to your thesis as well. So if you're talking about in the body paragraph, make sure it's reflected in your thesis. Um, Also, adding descriptions. So if you just stated it, I know somehow some of us, we just want to say what we're going to say and then we want to move on. All right. But add details, add description. Maybe how can you tell that story a little bit more, describing, well, who was in the audience? What were you wearing? What was some of the dialogue that happened back and forth between you and maybe your friend before the talent show or after the talent show? Okay, so think about how you can add description and details to the body paragraphs. Okay, and another thing you could do is, if you've only talked about 2 events or 2 people that maybe help shape you in that particular characteristic, maybe add another event, add another person. Okay, those are ways that you can add length to a paper and have, meaningful length added and not just rambling on and on. All right, so hopefully that helps a little bit with the first paper. Always make sure you go through the lecture materials and things for more details. Have a good one, guys. Happy writing.